Hi guys, it's Ivan Makarov here, and you're watching the World's Strongest Fun.
Hey guys, today's video is all about Ivan Makarov. He is the current Giants Live World Deadlift Champion. Now last year he pulled 475 kilos or 1,047 pounds, taking the title and the trophy. And also in that competition, quite a few guys pulled over 1,000 pounds. I'm expecting to see more athletes do that this year, because Giants Live are holding the World Deadlift Championships again, and this year they're aiming for 505 kilos. Now the main show is called the Giants Live Open, but also included in that is the World Deadlift Championships. It's the first event. It's happening on the 6th of August in Cardiff, and Ivan Makarov is returning to retain his title and maybe try and increase it. Now the big number they're aiming for this year is 505 kilos. The reason for that, it puts the lift way above anything previously done by say Eddie Hall or Hathor Bjornsson. Now what they want to do is really put that behind them and have a new champion with a new record. So here we have Ivan's stats. It says he's 5'10", that makes him the same height as me. His weight is actually 152 kilos or 335 pounds. I'm not that heavy, so he's definitely bigger than I am. Now in terms of his deadlift, in competition last year, he pulled a personal best of 475 kilos or 1,047 pounds. But in the gym, he's actually pulled 490 kilos or 1,080 pounds. And I'm going to show that to you a bit later. But first up, let's see how he gets on as a strongman. Here he is doing a circus dumbbell. This one weighs in at 103 kilos or 227 pounds for 2 reps. The handle is really thick, probably between 2 and 3 inches. He gets his hand round it though, and that's a strong press. Next up, he's pressing on a barbell out of the rack. The weight 150 kilos or 330 pounds for 2 reps, and he's also doing both of those strict. Now next up, he's doing the axle floor to overhead, and I do believe this is in competition. The weight 165 kilos or 363 pounds. He takes a bit of a while getting it up to his chest, but just check out that strength, the overhead press was easy. Now next up we move into some log pressing. First up, it's in competition, 182.5 kilos or 402 pounds. Again, he leans back, and it does seem he's got more left in the tank. Next up, he does an axle deadlift. This one's slightly different. It's done on some wagon wheels, and the bar does look pretty long, but the weight is 430 kilos or 948 pounds from a height of roughly 12 inches. Now moving back to the log, I'm going to show you some clips where he goes even heavier. The weight 190 kilos or 418 pounds for 2 reps floor to overhead. Now the reason I'm showing you lots of different lifts from Ivan is I feel he's a really good strongman and definitely deserves more invitations to some international shows. Here comes rep number 2. Again, he gets down pretty low, but he manages to lift it up to his chest, and again, he does fight it through for a good lockout. Now after that, I've managed to find a couple of singles. First up, it's 195 kilos or 430 pounds. It's getting to be some serious weight now. Notice how he does the same technique each time, and when he leans back, he manages to get his head through, and that's really important. And the most weight I've managed to find him doing on a log press is 197 kilos or 434 pounds, almost 200 kilos, and he makes that look one of the easiest presses of all. Now to be a really good strongman, you can't just be good at one event, you really have to train all of them, and that's exactly what Ivan's been doing. Here he is doing a super yoke, the weight 450 kilos or 992 pounds for a distance of 20 meters. Noticing he doesn't put it down until the very end of the run. And if you guys are wondering what's his grip strength like, it's pretty good, because here he is doing a heavy farmer's walk, the weight 172 kilos or 379 pounds in each hand. Now if you've made it this far, you're in for a real treat, because up next it's the deadlift section. We kick off with a weight of 410 kilos or 904 pounds. Following on from this, Ivan decides to pull from height. It's roughly 12 inches, but the weight is 450 kilos or 992 pounds, and as it says on the screen, he did make that look easy. Now moving on, the weight goes up to 460 kilos or 1,014 pounds, pulling from the floor in a suit, a belt and also using some straps. That's all allowed in Strongman. Next up, he goes back to pulling from a rough height of 12 inches. The weight increases to 470 kilos or 1,036 pounds. Now he's back on the floor again, but the weight 472 kilos or 1,040 pounds, just under the record he pulled at the Giants Live World Deadlift Championships back in 2021. Next up, he's in competition, pulling 480 kilos or 1,058 pounds, but I'm really not a fan of this clip. There's not a good angle and I can't see if he's got it locked out, but it really doesn't matter because he still goes even heavier. Here is 481 kilos or 1,060 pounds for 2 reps. He's also doing it from height, roughly 12 inches. It shows that there's definitely a sweet spot to his pulling. Here comes rep number 2, over the knees, and he's very strong at the lockout position. Next up, my favourite lift of all, it's 490 kilos or 1,080 pounds from the floor. This is using Strongman rules. He can hitch and do whatever he has to, but that is definitely a legitimate lift. Up next, he goes back to pulling from height, 500 kilos or 1,102 pounds. Next up, he has an attempt at 501 kilos or 1,104 pounds. Now he does get it above his knee, but he doesn't manage to lock it out, but it's a really great sign of things to come. Check out the video, he's so close. And a few years ago at a record breaker event, he also tried 502 kilos or 1,107 pounds, but that one didn't quite get above the knee. Now up next, he's pulling from height again. This is really impressive. 540 kilos or 1,190 pounds. The height is roughly 12 inches, but it does show he's so strong at the lockout position. If only he could pull just over 500 kilos from the floor. And the final clip, he's attempting 550 kilos or 1,212 pounds from a height of 12 inches, but once he leans back, the bar pulls him all over the place. So what do you guys think? Will Ivan Makarov pull 505 kilos or will he fall short? He's definitely my front runner for the win. He's looking really strong, and those clips were quite a few years ago now, so he could be even stronger. Anyway, that's it from me today. I really hope you enjoyed my video on Ivan Makarov, the Giants Live World Deadlift Champion. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you again as always on the next one.
Мне же вторая сиська порвется.